as consistent, which is cool, but also to the same time, it is a lot of work to, show up, the same way every single day. And I think that's just due to me understanding what consistency is. Consistency, a lot of times my guys ask me, hey, how do I become more consistent? And if you're trying to do that, it's going to be really hard to be consistent because you're thinking about it. I think that the process of consistency is understanding what tools you need to use with what you're trying to create, right? And everyone on this call is a leader, so I'm assuming if you're in Hey Sean's office, you're trying to create a team, right? And you're trying to build a different life, different lifestyle, and you want different things. And if we were to see business as like a big tool shed, consistency would be one of your hardest hitting tools in there as far as like a hammer or maybe a drill. And I know this because I just recently got a new home and my garage is empty, so all my tools are so I can't really do much, right? I went the other day to go like nail something in. I don't have a hammer right now, so I'm like, what's going on, right? So consistency is really a huge tool if you guys are trying to build something. Now, you guys know the formula for momentum: focus plus intensity over time, right? That's how we create momentum. But really, all that means is how am I going to be consistent in certain aspects of what I'm trying to create to really build the momentum that I want, right? So there's certain times where a lot of times people want to use procrastination over consistency. That is a tool, and sometimes that's useful, but I think your highest performing tools are going to be based upon what's going to help you guys create momentum. And it's ironic that Sean brought that up because momentum is your biggest tool, but it's also your biggest enemy, especially if you don't have it. And the only way you're going to build that is if you're creating consistent habits in each categories over time, which I'll talk about today. And I'll keep it very simple for you guys. I don't want to overwhelm. I know we got is everyone here at least a leader on the call? I'm talking entry levels.
Entry level, few entry levels.
Okay. So I'll kind of broaden it even more here. So, really, I'll break it down like this, right? So consistency is a tool, right? You need to be creating momentum every single day you step into facilities in any portion of your life. So if you're an entry level right now, you need to get really good at being consistently being able to say the pitch the same way every single time. Same way every single time. Build a momentum in that. If you can't, then this is why you're going to have probably a longer promotion stint here, right? If you're a leader, you need to be able to explain and understand how to train people the same way every single time. Because there's really only a couple of leadership scenarios that you go through. If you're someone that's an assistant manager, you need to be able to have the same conversations the same way every single time, right? So if you're talking about Candy being on the call, you're going to come across conversations that you need to be consistent in and how you say those things every single time. And if you're a manager, Rodney, or a rookie owner, you need to show up consistently to your office the same way every single time to build momentum long term, right? And that escalates as you go through, the whole entire, you know, program here, right? Even now at my stage, I have to be able to be consistent in all those categories, but also two categories when it comes to how I'm consistent with how I prepare for the day, how I prepare for game plans, right? How we consistently throw events. This is an amazing tool that you guys got to get used to, right? So I got five things for you guys. I'll break it down real quick and then we'll leave it up for question and answers. But what are you consistent in? There's a question right now in my office. I ask myself, what am I consistent in? There's something you're consistent in. Maybe it is, non-execution. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your finances. You have to sit down and ask yourself, what are you consistent in? Because even though you may say you're not consistent, you're consistently doing something. Sleeping, TikToking, consistently not showing up to work, that'll hurt you. Like you have to ask yourself, what are you consistent in, right? Because whatever you're consistent in, that's what you're building momentum in. So it's almost like little buckets, right? So little drips of consistency. Whatever you're consistent in, that's what you're building momentum in. So let's break this down. If you're not consistent in your health and that bucket is empty, well, how do you feel like that plays into the other portions of your life? I used to think that was kind of a little bit, as we say, woo woo, but being consistent in your health does play into being consistent in your business because if you're not feeling good, you don't want to consistently show up the right way every single day. Have you guys ever had that core meal while you guys are out in the field, the chili cheese dog or whatever? Or I know New Orleans got some good food and you eat that and you try to go knockout, gong on Black Friday, that's a bad decision. That's not good. Yes. So I think what are you consistent in, right? So things that you need to be aware of or what you're consistent in. First place you do that is by asking questions there, right? Okay. Are you aware of what type of momentum you're building? I think there's good momentum and there's bad momentum. Are you aware of what type of momentum you're building? So in different portions of my career, there were times where I wasn't even aware that I was building momentum in the wrong places. And then I was faced with when that momentum overflowed out of that bucket I just talked about, it was either glory or it was either pain. And sometimes the pain comes when you don't want it to come, right? Because you're just unaware to what you're building momentum in or what you're being consistent in, right? So there was a point in time where I was really inconsistent with having the tough conversations. Every single time having the tough conversations. I didn't want to have them. I was avoiding them. Ronnie will get it, or Candy will just understand that she needs to hit her standards. And then what I looked around was I had a whole team of people that just weren't what I wanted to work with. And then if it was that, I had to let everybody go. Then I had to start over again. So then it was like, okay, I have to be consistent with these things, right? What am I building momentum in? I have to be aware to that, right? Which comes into number three. A lot of you guys, and I've been talking this a lot about in my office here, is that you got to build a solid coaching consistency. If you don't, then you're going to be unaware to these things. So a lot of you guys right now have Hey Sean, a lot of you guys have Rodney. They're still available. I would be reaching out to them every single week and go, hey, where are the areas of improvement? Where can I get better? What do you see? And don't strive away from that and get consistent in that. So a lot of people, especially in my office, they come up to me and they're like, hey, I don't know what questions to ask. And that's a tall tale sign they're not consistent in getting coaching, right? Because when I'm getting coached, I know what questions to ask because I'm consistently getting feedback where I was last week, week before, month before, year before. That's just really how it works, right? Uh, Next piece when it comes to consistency, your consistency is your brand. So hey, Sean brings this up, and maybe he can kind of, tell me, but probably my operation looks exactly how it was when he was a senior leader to probably how it looks now, right? And that's kind of hard to do, but that there's a consistency piece to that where to keep things the same means that you have to keep things simple. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people, especially in this industry, try to switch things up, but if things are working, I think you guys need to keep that the same, right? So I do the same routines every single day to allow me to build consistency, but also too at the same time, I'm not really so quick to switch things up. So for those of you guys on the call who are like high variety people, where you're just like, you'll say a statement like this, like, hey, I just kind of feel like, things are different or I got to switch some things up. Well, that's usually probably this portion in your game where you're about to create momentum and something that you're unaware of. So you guys do know if you have three different pitches, you do have three sets of different law of averages throughout the day, right? I don't know if you guys know that. So if you switch your pitch up three different times, you have three different law of averages you have to deal with. This is why a lot of people say, I pitched all day, I didn't get anything. Well, you pitched three different ways all day. So you have three sets of law of averages you have to be accountable for. That's not really effective when it comes to building momentum. All right. Uh, Last piece, and I'll kind of open it up here. I don't think I'm consistent. I just think I'm driven. Right. So when there's driven people usually have a form of how they want to be able to move. But I think if you're not driven by something and you haven't really, solidified what your why is, why you're doing this, you're going to have a hard time being consistent because your emotions are up and down. So really, it's cooler because I have my mother here. She's here helping me, with my new home. And she was asking me the other day, she's like, "You work really hard," and she's like, "What's your goal?" And I was just sitting there, and I was just like, "You're my goal, right? Like I got to take care of you guys." So it's a consistency I get to see like all the time when I'm working. But I think if you haven't sat down, especially it's the 13th, so you got a little bit of time. It's almost National Quitters Day, I think on the 21st. You got a week before National Quitters Day to sit down and do your goals and really be like, what is driving me? What's really helping me stay consistent? Because it's only going to get better. And I think for you guys on the call, if you're like leaders, really the number one thing I see leaders struggle with is just showing up the same way every single day. If you do that, you'll build a team pretty quickly because people want to know exactly what they're getting. But if one day I'm like, hell yeah, let's go crazy and take over the world, and then the next day I'm like, I'm really sad. I don't know if this is for me. Then the next day I'm like, man, I think Hey Sean hates me. And the next I think me and Hey Sean loves me. You've all seen this leader. They usually aren't here anymore. We usually are the ones that we shun those people, right? So I think if we really focus on this year, and it's not that hard, I think your consistency trade-off is going to give you millions of dollars in return. Is really how I see the business going right now. And these are things that we're kind of taught, but we're not because I think right now in our society it's okay not to be consistent. It's okay. You can kind of get rewarded for it. All right. So I know Shay Sean tomorrow only got 30 minutes. I want to open up for questions and answers, but I don't know if you have any
Yeah,
questions.
let's go for it, Darren. I know I want to respect your time. He does have a call right after this, so we want to respect his time, and we're going to give you guys all the time in the world to ask questions. You got solid 12 minutes.
Yeah, I had a question, Daryl.
Yes.
Yeah, appreciate you, by the way. Thank you for hopping on. So you mentioned
I can
about
see everybody now for some reason. Okay, I can see everybody now. For a moment in time, I was just talking to Hey Sean, so I didn't even know if you guys even got any of that. Okay. I think I just said that.
There's something called a
I
gallery
just
review on the right side.
yeah.
all right. Well, here's my
What's up,
question.
Candy?
So you mentioned something about having tougher conversations consistently. Like, what are those conversations look like? And do you rotate between the topics? And how do you know that you have to have this critical conversation? Like, the only thing I can think of right now is about work ethic and their standards and how they show up to the office. But any other areas and how do you deliver that
So
every,
usually the tough conversations are the ones that are very obvious that
yeah.
we don't want to have because we don't want to feel like we're being rude or mean about it. But at the end of the day, this is the conversation that's going to unlock the person to do what they need to do. All right. So one of those would be like someone being out of dress code. And you know it's effective. They're showing up every day in their freshest Jordan 13. It's all black. And you know it's wrong, and you don't want to have that conversation. Or maybe if it's day one, you guys all know what I'm talking about, right? Or even if you're in the, this is the one if you guys kind of relate to, you guys been in the store and someone keeps taking these breaks, and it's like, yo, like what are we doing? And the person is going to then tell, hey Sean or Rodney, that hey, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just not hitting the numbers I want to hit, and it's like you got to have that conversation. So it's usually quick and it's micro. It's very easy for you just to be like, I'm not going to have that conversation. They'll just figure it out because you don't want to be the bad guy, but you are the bad guy because they end up leaving. So I'm not going to be the bad guy. I'm going to be the good guy. I'm going to tell you, hey, Sean, man, look, let me pull you aside real quick. Look, you've taken 7 breaks today in the first hour. That's just not going to cut it. So if you really want to get good at this, you're going to have to, stick in here and pitch everybody as that comes through in order to get what you're trying to do, right? Because I want to see you be a part of the team. I really enjoy working with you, but you taking breaks, 40-minute breaks every hour on the hour is just not going to work. You got to get good at having that conversation, right? Okay, entry level conversation. Hey, look, man. Hey, Candy, it's been 4 days. You don't have your pitch down. What are we doing? This is going to allow you not to work, and I want you to be successful. I really think you got good potential. This is why I decided to bring you up. So I'm having this like that conversation, as small as it is, we strive away from not having that, and we may say things like, I told him what to do," and we know that we didn't tell him anything.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed away from it. Hey, look, you've been late 4 times, Rodney. I don't know what's going on, man. If you're late again, we're gonna have to let you go. And you like Rodney, or you guys maybe went out last night and got drinks or whatever you guys did. Fine. You gotta have that conversation and be consistent at it, right? If you do that, I have found that people respect you way more when they know what they're going to get and be consistent with it. But if you don't have that conversation consistently, and then one day out the blue, I'm like, Rodney, yo, come here, bro. You messing up. You suck. This, and I start getting after you, they're going to be like, "Who is this guy? Like, you've been chilling with me the whole time. Like, what? Like, what's up?" It made it seem like you're just blurting some stuff out. So start with consistency, end with consistency. That's how you're really going to build momentum. I mean, what questions or what conversations do you feel like you're having a hard time with? Especially as a new assistant manager, I know that can be always like,
Yeah, I think it's a matter of the new-ish leaders. They've been around for a few months, and so they know the game. I think it's a matter of like their own consistency and like their own work ethic, and also the commitment to bettering their skill sets so they
Mhm.
actually hit their own numbers.
Yeah, and maybe this be counter, but I kind of stopped talking about numbers a long time ago, and I started talking about
Mhm.
people's growth and where they want to go. So usually I used to be like, hey, you got to hit your numbers. And yes, maybe that works for a little bit, but I started talking more so about like, don't you want this car that you said you told me you wanted? Or do you still like showing up just via Uber? I don't know. I don't, your work ethic that you have right now is not worthy of getting that next stage. So I just started talking that way. But also too, I just people know that there is like a small gap for I don't know, low performance when it comes to just the basics. So if I was out in the retail location with somebody and I was just at dinner last night, they asked me this, it's like, what would be allowed? You cannot not work hard. You can make mistakes. You got to have a good attitude. Other than that, that's about it. We're in the field having fun. We're both going through it, getting what we need to do. But that's what that would look like.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I got a question, Daryl.
Who's asking? What's the? I can't recognize.
Decorian Javon Taylor. My people call me
Oh,
DJ.
snap.
Yeah,
You're chicken, huh? You back?
Again.
Chicken. What's up,
yeah.
baby?
What's up? So yeah, so I appreciate you hopping on the call. So I do got a question. So it is like what are three mistakes that you have made like in this business, right? And then what are three lessons that you learned from those mistakes to make you become a millionaire?
Damn, that's a good question. Three mistakes. Biggest mistake number one is not really understanding that everything that I'm doing is helping me become the person I need to become now. So I think a lot of people rush through that process. I wish I would have kind of understood that a little bit more, and I wouldn't have been as stressed as I was in those moments. I would have been like, everything's going to be okay. Mistake number two is training everybody and treating everybody the same way. You can't. Everybody's different. And then I just got over this probably about 2 years ago, wanting so much control. You can't have both, right? So you can have growth, you can have control, but you can't have both, right? So I think my personality type, D-type personality, I want to control things and tell people what to do, and that doesn't work. They just resent me, and it doesn't really help. And I think those mistakes have led me to either build or hurt relationships more so than I knew, or help me get to places a whole lot slower, right? Even right now with the team that we have, I've had to let people make mistakes, let them grow through it, and then be there to be like, hey, this is a mistake. We got this, move there. But I'm not trying to control it anymore, right? I'm actually trying to delegate some things away because I'm doing a lot of different things at the top end. I don't think I need to be a part of every single yes anymore. Like, okay, how do you feel about yes? Confirm it, confirm it, confirm. I told someone else, I was like, hey, look, I got to get to like three confirms and everything else. I trust you. You make the decision, you do it.
Right.
So I got to start doing the next level of that is like, hey, how do I do that in the finance category? How do I do that in the social media? Like all those things, I can't control it like that. If I want it to grow, if I want it to stay the same, then I'll control it. But I don't say no, that's going to make you $1 million. I think that's just going to make you a richer person. And when you're a richer person internally, you make more money naturally. That's just what I've realized since recently. Like all the people that I know that are high wealth people, they're just really good people. So therefore, money's attracted to that. Consistent, just with their conversations, consistent how they show up. Hey, Sean is consistent. I never been to a location where Hey Sean like gave me the cold shoulder and then loved me the next time and then gave me, you know those people I'm talking about where it's like, yo, what up? It's like, oh yeah, what up? And then the next time, yo, what up? And it's like, okay, hug. And then the next time, like, yo, too cool for school. I made $1 million. Shit. It's like, what? stop, right? I think doing well, doing bad, you're gonna get the same version of me because I understand how it works because just that's just a portion of being a good person. So if you show up that way, I think you'll be good. And you'll make more chicken. I know you like that chicken.
Love that chicken.
Yeah. Hopefully that's good.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Daryl, I got a question. I appreciate you as
talking
well
to?
for everything.
Man, what's going on?
What's up,
Hey,
brother?
we're due for a call, man.
We are. It's gonna happen. I got you on my one-on-one list. I'm making it happen. Promise.
It's on the West Coast time, right? But call me anytime.
Yeah, okay. My question is, do you have a clear plan for development for your leaders after they get promoted, or do you provide them the resources and they have to go kind of figure it out themselves? How do you go about developing your leaders?
We have a 4-week plan after they get promoted that they need to follow, just to give them a basic guideline. But as always, I think the biggest reason why I think people spend a long time in leadership is because that's when you start to be given a little bit of autonomy. When you're training, it's like do this, do that, learn your pitch, and someone's on you and you can get there. But we want to open that up so we can start to develop the mentality of what that looks like as an entrepreneur. Just so because nobody woke me up this morning. I had to have that own kind of thing there, but that you learn that through the leadership phase. So, hey, here's the game plan. Have at it. You can go as fast as you want, as slow as you want. We hope you go faster if you want to, but I think you get there when you get there, right? Like Candy's story, I love that story because when I came last year, I was like, I went to Hayshawn and I was like, is that Candy? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what the heck? Because when I met you, you were kind of like, oh, I don't want to talk, but now you're from the room, you're cracking jokes. I was like, dang, this is crazy, right? So that's the developmental process that it looks like. And I think I even told you, Candy, when I was out there, I was like, keep going. And then now you're assistant manager. So that's dope. So I think that's what it is. But we have a guideline, a little 4-week plan. The coach,
Okay.
what I really say when it comes to developing leaders, just create a good soil with your leadership, and I think everything will grow as it grows. But I have a saying that I say in my office all the time: don't yell at your corn. Some of you guys go out in the backyard, plant corn, and then go yell at it. Grow, grow. It's like that's not how it works, man. I see a lot of people do that. Some people are probably doing that today. Like, why am I there faster? How long have you been in the business? 3 weeks. What? What are you expecting? All right. So that's what I would say.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, I want to respect Daryl's time because he does have a call he needs to jump on right after this. So if you do have any questions for Daryl, he's going to be live streaming on Twitch in a bit.
Yes, I'll be on
That's
Twitch.
Daryl Lyle,
My handle is
Milly.
Big D
All right,
5.
Daryl, thank you so much, bro. I don't know if you are okay with me sharing your phone number to everybody, unless I don't know if you want like senior lead assistant manager, or you want if you don't like it, I just put your email down so everyone can reach out to you.
Yeah.
But
So before everybody goes, just
yeah,
like I said, if you guys want to get in contact with me, I know a lot of you guys have texted me, and it's not that I'm not responding back. Just I have a calendar. I'll post that for Hey Sean. It's a calendar that I set up because one time to set it up that way, make sure we're on there. And then secondly, you guys are, almost like a second or third home for us. So out here in SAC, we got y'all. Hopefully you got us out in the NO. So if you guys need anything, reach out, and that's from anybody across the board. And then we'll see you guys out at Keys, and hopefully we'll have some fun together, and we'll get it in, right? So let me know what you guys need, and then super excited to come. It's always grateful to spend this time with you guys. I remember someone getting on call speaking to me, so I don't forget this time. But if you need anything, reach out, let me know, and let's crush it this year. We'll see you guys at the top.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
thank you,
Go.
Daryl.
Thank you. Thank you.
Daryl.
Have a great time, Daryl.
Later.
Thank you.
Twitch.
You guys enjoy that? That was good.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Got the
Nice
Twitch
try.
handle? Who got the Twitch handle? Where the
One more
Twitch
time.
handle, cuz?
Thanks, Ishan.
Say, oh, drop the Twitch, cuz. Let me stop.
You know Daryl is still on, right? So JP, you're
I'm
not gonna get no one-on-one.
I got Twitch. I'll send it to y'all. Later.
That's the Twitch. Any questions for anyone hanging back? Anything that you guys want to talk?
Oh,
got
I
one.
actually had a question. So,
What's up, Marcus? How are you?
I'm doing amazing. My question was, so obviously it's like a system we implement with sales. Is there any part of the system you would suggest an entry level spend a little more time on?
Is this question for me?